Yeah. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
I felt like some more.
He's in his office.
He's not good. He's not.
He's on the gut feeling.
Oh.
We have an electron.
Yeah, we can just mute him. Tony, are you ignoring us? I don't know that he hears us.
The audio is
I know,
atrocious.
it's Kevin, the audio is awesome.
It is
What did you
distorted.
say, Tony?
The audio is having this issue with the audio.
The audio is absolutely terrible. CMC said the same thing. We've been chatting with each other, and they said it's terrible on their end.
I've heard that before.
One of the problems is that if two of you speak at the same time, or there's other noise besides you speaking, it just becomes totally distorted. I don't think there's anything Doug can do about it right now. I'm just commenting more or less.
And welcome to the regular twice monthly meeting of Westminster's Mayor and Common Council. Please note that our meetings, although open to the public here at City Hall, will continue to be available and streamed live on the city's YouTube page, as well as the Community Media Center channel of Is there a second? Is there a motion by Mr. Dayhoff and a second by Mr. Hoff? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes seem to have it, and the ayes have it, and the minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is and we have a presentation Okay, that's gonna be annoying. Anything to do about that, Mr. Barber?
I think they're taking out, IT is in the computer, so they logged in. I'm not in control of the computer.
Okay. You can't just. Let's switch just a moment.
Manually turn that on.
Tonight. Rebecca, if you'd like to go and give it a shot. Yeah, Mr. Goff. I'm happy to wait. Wait a minute. Can we, if nothing else, can we silence the speakers on the?
Yeah. Let me just.
There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Let's consult my Nostradamus Mustache. Right. So this is right. So we have a proclamation to recognize Jeffrey Glass. Whereas Jeffrey D. Glass began his career with the City of Westminster on May 25th, 1981, as an operator one with the sewer department. On July 1st, 1983, Mr. Glass was promoted to sewer department operator number 2. In 1985, Mr. Glass assisted in the execution of a dechlorinization project, which protected the fish and wildlife in the receding waters. On August 10th, 1987, Mr. Glass became the wastewater treatment plant superintendent, followed by the superintendent on October 26, 1989. That was the year I graduated from high school. In 1989, Mr. Glass was instrumental in the design and construction of a major upgrade of the wastewater treatment plant, which increased the treatment capacity to 5 million gallons. In 1990, Mr. Glass spearheaded the removal of all underground fuel tanks for backup generators on city property to protect the surrounding environment. In 1993, Mr. Glass designed an outlet for the water treatment plant sludge that utilized existing infrastructure for significant cost savings. 1996, Mr. Glass moved to the Office of Utilities as a utility manager. In 2000, Mr. Glass assisted in the design and construction of the Longwell Parking Garage, Westminster Square Parking Garage, and renovation of Locust Lane. Also in 2000, Mr. Glass managed the biological nutrient removal project, reducing the nitrogen and phosphorus levels to the Chesapeake Bay. In 2001, Mr. Glass was promoted to Assistant Director of Streets and Utilities in the Office of Planning and Public Works. In 2002, Mr. Glass was instrumental in leading the city through record drought conditions. He negotiated a new temporary emergency water source with Medford Quarry and built a pipeline to transfer that emergency water from Medford Quarry to the reservoir, which guaranteed water service to residents in Carroll County General Hospital. In 2004, Mr. Glass developed a new water source at Roots Mill and a treatment plant to add capacity to the city's distribution system. Also in 2004, Mr. Glass initiated a transition from gaseous chemicals to liquid chemicals, which was a risk management tool to protect the surrounding neighborhoods. In 2007, Mr. Glass achieved the position of Director of Public Works. In 2009, Mr. Glass managed the upgrade to the Cranberry Water Treatment Plant, which utilized cutting-edge membranes to upgrade the treatment facility.
Been a little tired even hearing all this.
In 2011, Mr. Glass managed the rehabilitation of City Hall, including collaboration with the Carroll County Historical Society. In 2012, Performance Food Group expanded their business to move from compressors to a chiller system, which required a large amount of water to cool the system. In an effort to conserve drinking water, Mr. Glass negotiated the process of water
chillers, thereby saving potable water system approximately 43,000 gallons of water a day, while also assisting local businesses and water customers. In 2020, Mr. Glass shepherded the Enhanced Nutrient Renewal Project, which will allow the city to lower the effluent parameters for nitrogen and phosphorus, providing additional protections to Chesapeake Bay. In an ongoing effort over the last 20 years to improve and preserve capacity of the wastewater treatment plant, Mr. Glass managed inflow and infiltration projects. Throughout his tenure, Mr. Glass has encouraged employees to take training and educational classes to improve their skills and transferability. Mr. Glass has been a trusted advisor, sage leader, team player across the city government. On July 31st, 2022, Mr. Glass will retire with 41 years of service to the city. Now, therefore, the mayor and common council hereby recognize Jeffrey Glass for his many contributions of the city of Westminster, adopted this day, 11th of July, 2022.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
Probably more than a few. That's right. Thanks for the kind words. A lot of it was true, not all of it, obviously, but.
I wrote it, it's true.
Okay, but then it's true. That's how it was. I'd like to point out to some of the guys from, and girls from Finland, I should say, not that.
Thank you.
For the public works. Going down the line, Dan Summerhill, he's the superintendent of the wastewater plant, his wife Amanda. Jared Paff is the assistant superintendent of utility maintenance. Steve Strasberg is the superintendent of the street department, and Lisa Wallace is my administrative, not mine, she is the administrative assistant. I think she is mine for public works. So I appreciate you guys coming out for this. So, you know, all jobs have the ups and downs, and mine is no different. And it seems to be, it's kind of a trite expression that employees are our biggest asset, but that really is true. And it's because of the employees, that people that I had the opportunity to work with, that made my job have many more ups than downs. And that really meant a lot to me. Part of that comes with good leadership, and we have a good leader now with Sarah Imhoff. We finally got a good leader, and so what we got to do is not screw that up. The other part of that is the support from the council, and we certainly have that as well. And I think that whole package is an unstoppable team. And I think as long as everybody goes in the same direction, and I believe that'll happen, you will not be stopping. So this is my last council meeting. It's not my last day in the office. That's Friday, so I'm still available for gifts and cash, lunches, cash, any of that stuff. I'll still be around. So that's and thank everyone for that again for the comments. It's about all that. So thank you. Thank you. Dr. Becker? Let me just say that my tenure goes back almost 30 years, off and on the council. And during that time, Mr. Glass has always been here, steady hand in public works, someone that we could count on. And over that time, he's earned the trust of every mayor and council during that time. And I just want to say that that's just something it's hard to find. It's impossible to duplicate, and you could never fake it. So we appreciate all you've done for it, how you've brought to the city, everybody's that organization. And we wish you all the best. as you retire, knowing that you won't be far, knowing that we won't let you get very far. And we'll still be in touch. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any of my colleagues like to add anything?
No, I think the mayor and you have covered everything.
Thank you.
I would just like to
I
add,
need to
and well, I couldn't resist that.
Took forever.
I would just like to add, I've known Jeff for a long time, but not in this role. And I wish I would have been here earlier, that we would have had more of an opportunity. It's only been a year and a half, but you have done a phenomenal job for the city, and you will be doing this. Thanks, sir.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Do you mind if I
President?
add?
Please do.
While I have staff here, in case anybody knows. I wanted to say two things, one they've heard already, but I arrived on scene on September 7th, and Mr. Glass notified me that week, maybe even the week before, that he'd be leaving at the end of the month. And rightfully so, I encouraged him to stick around for a minute longer. That went to November and then a hard date of January, which we agreed to continue and push out a little bit to March, and then May, in which case I said absolutely not. And we agreed on July. So that is, it's such a testament, I think, to Jeff's dedication to the city and support for all of us, and interest in making sure that we succeed, which we really needed a little bit of a bridge before he left. So Jeff, thank you for that. And the second thing I wanted to say is that the Public Works Department is not a department of one, even though Jeff is our fearless leader. We have such competent superintendents in each of the sections, most of whom are here tonight, missing a couple of them due to some scheduling and vacations and stuff. So we've been working hard over the last 9 months to make sure that we all work together as a team, and that we understand our various roles. And so I am confident moving forward that while it will be a little bit of a bumpy road, that we will be successful because of the staff that we have here in the Public Works Department. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. It's also a testament to Ms. Imholz's negotiators. We're hoping she gets one more trick in her before the end of the week.
Okay, one more thing. Item number 3 is that most people who are on retirement, as you all know, the last 3 months, they're hard to find. Jeff has been working 9-hour days just full time. I mean, we even negotiated he would have preferred to take a little bit of time off in between, and certainly hasn't. And even this week, we've been closing out items, and we'll continue to. We've got a budget meeting on Thursday, and I'm sure he will work a full day on Friday. And my goodness, that is such a testament to your integrity and your dedication to the city. And boy, do we appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff. All right, that's all I have.
Thank you. Lisa, I don't know if Mr. Cavacci is still muted, if it's the sound issues or not. I know that he would certainly echo all of these sentiments if he were able to.
Mr. President, I can you hear me?
Okay, go
Turn
ahead.
it up.
Yeah.
Can you turn it up so we can hear that?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
When I got onto the council 13 years ago, I had the fortunate opportunity to be mentored by a couple of folks, Damian Halstead, Robert Wack, and then probably most importantly, my father, who was council president. And all of them sat me down throughout the time I spent trying to get teed up before I ran to learn how to be a good councilman. And all of them across the board said the one thing you have to do early is form a relationship with Dr. Glass. And they were 100% right. He has been unbelievably knowledgeable and insightful, and just a resource that I've turned to for my 13 years on the council, someone I trust, and frankly, somebody I like a lot too. So it's been just an incredible pleasure to work with you, Jeff. I'm really sorry I'm not able to be there right at the moment. I didn't want to take a chance of making anybody else sick, but congratulations and thank you for everything you've given to the city of Westminster. We're all much better for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move on. Reports from the mayor, Dr. Becker.
Hey, thank you, Mr. President. On Thursday morning, June 30th, I attended the County Commissioners' open session meeting, where the commissioners voted to award the City of Westminster approximately $1.5 million towards the Pure Water Westminster facility. This is something that Jeff has been 100% involved in as well. This money will be distributed from the county from the American Rescue Plan or ARPA funds that have been set aside for municipal water projects. Just wanted to take a minute to thank the commissioners for recognizing that Westminster serves just as many county residents with water and sewer as we have city residents. And we appreciate the additional funds towards our Pure Water facility. As a reminder to residents, information about the Pure Water facility and treatment process can be found on the city's webpage. And I also wanted to take a minute to thank the staff on their work on that proposal. For the county, we wouldn't have been awarded the funds without the extra work in convincing the county that we were eligible for funding. Our plastic bag ban actually continues to gain some attention, even though it's been in place for just about a year. I've been in regular contact with the Sierra Club, the Catoctin Group, and they have been working in the city of Frederick to assist in introducing legislation concerning plastic bags in Frederick. They're using data that they've collected in Westminster to support their arguments in Frederick. I've talked to them 2 or 3 times. They've actually done surveys in Westminster, sitting outside the grocery stores to collect data about the number of reusable bags. And I know that they're presenting that information to Mayor O'Connor this Wednesday evening at the Frederick City meeting in an effort to hopefully get some sort of bag legislation introduced within the city of Frederick. This past couple of weeks, I've been addressing some concerns from residents regarding the construction of the community pool. I just want to let residents know that we will have a mayor's community meeting at some point in time in the fall as an update on the pool construction. It is on schedule for the pool to have a full season in 2022. On Saturday, July 9th, I attended with several other council members. Councilmember Dayhoff was there. Council President Pecoraro, I saw Councilmember Hoff, and other city staff were there for the Westminster Pride Festival. It was a great turnout, even in the drizzle and the occasional rain and dry periods. East Main Street was full of festival goers enjoying the entertainment and vendors. I just want to say thank you to Sherry Hosfield and Jason Garber for being the organizers and the brain behind the Westminster Pride Festival every year. They have a dynamic group that not only plans this festival, but also gives back to the community in many other ways. One of the things that I've been really encouraged by recently is some of the initiative that's shown by local businesses. In case you missed it, and Ms. Inhofe, I hope I'm not taking anything away from your report later, the Rudolph Girls, together with 21 other businesses, are hosting a Westminster local shopping event, which began on July 9th and runs through the remainder of this week. Daily prizes are being awarded for shoppers who post images on social media with the hashtag Westminster MD Local. And I think it really speaks volumes about the city when businesses come together and take some initiative and take ownership of ideas. And I think this is in part definitely due to the relationship that Ms. Inhofe has nurtured with businesses in the city. And I continue to hear wonderful things about the Downtown Business Association meetings. 2 other things real quick. Common Ground on the Hill is happening in person this week at McDaniel College. If you've lived in Westminster, you know that there is a festival. There's only 1 week in person. The other 2 weeks were virtual this year. The in-person week is this week at McDaniel College. There are classes being offered all week in traditional skills. There's a concert every evening in the Alumni Hall, and the Roots Music and Arts Festival will be held on the grounds of McDaniel College on Saturday, July 16th. In conjunction with the festival is also the Deer Creek Fiddlers Convention that will also be held on McDaniel's campus on Saturday morning. And I want to add that Common Ground is where I learned how to build a timber frame building from the last several years. So we built a cabin over the last 5 summers. And then finally, last but not least, early voting is underway in the gubernatorial primaries. Go and vote. Early voting runs through the 14th. You can vote in Westminster at the Westminster Senior Center, and the primary is July 19th. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Becker. Interesting enough, that I also have heard from a group in Easton trying to get a plastic bag ordinance passed, and so I spent a little time on the phone with them. They haven't done the kind of research that some folks think we should get them
We
together.
should get those two groups
Yeah,
together.
they're trying to persuade the Easton Council to do the same.
The Sierra Club Pawtucket Group have been to Westminster 3 times
Yeah.
to survey outside of grocery stores
Yeah, that's great.
in the city. So
What kind of data are they collecting?
they're collecting. They're not counting the number of bags. They're counting the number of people that come out of the store, depending on what the type of bag they have. So whether it's reusable, right now, of course, there's no plastic, but reusable, whether or not it's paper, whether or not they don't have a bag at all. And of course, they did see an increase. That's me sometimes too. They did see an increase in the number of people coming out of the stores without a bag.
That's me.
Right? I know. You just forget a bag. But I can get that information if you'd like to see it. It's interesting. I'll send that on. But it's just, of course, their goal, what they would like to see us move towards is, of course, as far as we can towards reusable and or no bags, so not even really using paper. And they're not quite sure what direction Frederick might go in, whether or not they might think about a tax or they might have a hybrid system or just ban it outright. But they've definitely been utilizing the legislation that we passed in the city for some of their arguments, which I think is great.
That data would definitely be interesting.
Yeah, sure, I can get that.
All right, now it's time for our reports from the standing committees. We'll begin with our liaison to the Arts Council, Mr. Dayhoff.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're working on an exciting fall schedule. Stay tuned for more details. That's my report. Thank you.
All right, very good. Economic and Community Development Committee, Mr. Hawk.
Mr. President, I will just note that our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, July the 21st at 3:30 p.m. at the 45 West Main.
All right, thank you. I have nothing to report tonight. On behalf of the Finance Committee, Personnel Committee, Ms. Gilbert.
I just want to make people aware of the numerous positions we have available. Check out our city website. The list is there and the qualifications and the applications are all on our website. So take a peek.
Very good, thank you. Kavachi, are you able to make a Public Safety Committee report?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. The Westminster Police Department wanted to report that the Pride event was very successful from their perspective. It was incident-free and just a wonderful event for the police department to be part of. They also participated in a successful community resource fair along with the health department on July 1st and 2nd. And then lastly, they're continuing to reach out to the community with face-to-face interaction. And they've had 90 foot hours of patrol and 9 hours of bike patrol over just the past 2 weeks, Mr. President. That's my report.
Very good, thank you. And Public Works Committee?
Yes, Mr. President. I&I Contractors currently working on Sophia Avenue, excavating and replacing about 1,000 feet of the water main. They received the United States Bureau of Reclamation share of the $750,000 grant for water reuse pilot project, which is wonderful. Great news. Final report and presentation for the reuse project, pilot project, is to be delivered this Thursday afternoon. So that's it's wonderful that that's getting into those final stages. The VOTEC well construction for treatment of PFAS is complete, and the well was put back into service last Friday. Another great piece of news. Energy efficient lighting replacement project is underway with the work occurring at various city buildings. And again, that's inside city buildings. And the department met with the Maryland Midland representatives regarding track replacement and crossing improvements at the intersection of Main and Route 27. Construction will require a complete closure, unfortunately, of the intersection at 27 and Main for about 10 days. So that's going to be pretty impactful. That is something that is completely out of our control. As we all know, the railroads are very powerful and they get to say what they do with their tracks, and they need to replace them. Well, they're going to do it, and we're going to have to close the road down. The date has not been set yet, but it's probably going to be late summer or fall. And just a reminder, we also do have upcoming, and I know Ms. Imholz has been continuously communicating with the business community to make sure they're well aware that this is coming. But we also are going to have some, a major project on Main Street with the water main replacement that I believe is going to be about a year-long project. And I know that her and the staff are working hard to make sure that to minimize as much as possible the impact on parking and access. But the reality is it's going to have an impact, and we're all going to have to figure out how to work around it. And of course, this railroad track replacement, unfortunately, is also going to have an impact. But to get better and do some of the things we want to do, we've got to make some of these improvements. So we don't, we have no choice. We're just going to have to figure out how to make it work. And I know that staff is doing everything they can to be as communicative as possible. That's it, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Gavacci. Recreation and Parks, Mr. Deha.
It's Recreation and Parks month, lots of great events scheduled. When do we get our snowballs?
Thursday at noon, 1.
Including Thursday at when? Noon?
Local
Great.
time.
We get snowballs, but lots of great events. Check the website for additional information. That's my report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And on behalf of the Technology Committee, let me just say that Ms. Imhoff may report more on this later, but we're pleased to note that the authorization we gave to expend additional funds on cybersecurity at the last meeting are not necessary. We found that we've got other policies in place to cover that. So thanks to the staff for doing some great research on that and saving us $150,000 that we can put to better use. Thanks very much. Council comments and discussion. This is an opportunity for council members to comment on anything else additionally that is not on the agenda or elsewhere in the meeting. Start with Mr. Deha.
The Pride event was a great event. The Pride event was a great event. It doesn't happen overnight. We've been working at being an open and affirming and inclusive and welcoming community for many, many years, and it really showed. So we're really proud of that event. Big thanks to the Public Works Department. They made a lot of it work. Big thanks to the Police Department. They really came through for us, and I think won a lot of people over. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gilbert?
And I just want to thank the organizers of the Pride Festival. So I was there early in the day. By the time I was leaving, I was getting a tad bit wet, and the streets were then starting to fill up, and the rain was starting to stop. But by then, I was already kind of damp. So I left. I also had some other commitments to go to, but everybody that was arriving looked like they were having a great time. Again, kudos to our police department and the Public Works. It is never just one or two people. It takes a team of great individuals to put on any of the events. And again, there's another great festival in our city. And I also want to echo everyone else's comments for Dr. Glass. When I started as a council member, I knew nothing about wastewater, water treatment, filters, membranes, and never really thought I'd be walking across the platforms of the wastewater treatment plant either, but I have multiple times and gotten to appreciate not only the work, but also the time and the expertise and all the people that I've met because of you. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gilbert. Mr. Hoff?
I just wanted to comment and also thank the commissioners for the I think this is a little bit more than 1.5 million towards the Pure Water Project. I know I had spoken to several of them over the past year, and I know that when Mayor Becker and Councilman Gavacci and myself were all running back in 2021, and afterwards we, as a council, have all had conversations about trying to get more funding through other sources, whether it be through the county commissioners or the state, like we did with Wakefield Valley and the clock tower. And this is all really important to us and for our taxpayers here in Westminster. And of course, our Ms. Imholz has done a phenomenal job as well as pursuing additional funds. So I am just thrilled that came together for the 1.5 million towards the Pure Water Project. And it really takes a village to kind of get that kind of stuff to come together when it comes to a council level and also on the staff level. So, I mean, that's great news. Other people have also touched on the Pride event. I will just comment that, you know, it makes me feel so good about this community when I've been to that event before. I think this is the 4th year. But it is such a inviting, accepting environment, and consider some of the negativity that's been in certain other places in Carroll County regarding that community and issues surrounding that, to, you know, be in downtown Westminster at an event like that, and it being a very positive, welcoming experience is just phenomenal. And I think it really says a lot about the tone that, you know, the leadership in this city has set, but it also says even more about the actual community members that, you know, because they're the ones putting the event on. We are not putting that on. The community members are, and community members are coming to support that event. So it's just phenomenal. And again, I'm going to miss Mr. Glass because, you know, everybody else was able to learn a lot more from you. And I, you know, I only had a year and a half. So, no, I know your number. I'm going to call you. So, but anyway.
Thank you, Sal. Mr. Cavazzi, would you like to make any comments?
Mr. President, today's Jeff Glass Day, and I said everything I wanted to say about him, so I'm good. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. And I don't have anything else to add except that it was a nice event, and I will just say that I planned my visit a little better than Ms. Gillett. And then everything when I got there, the afternoon was very fun.
You're the council president. You decided that the rain should stop.
Older and smarter. I stayed that concludes council comments and discussion. Move on now. Unfinished business. There is no unfinished business of which I'm aware. Does anybody have any unfinished business to bring before the council? Hearing none, move on to new business. We have one item of new business, motion for which I will turn to Mr. Hoff.
Okay, Mr. President, I am going to make the motion in Councilman Cavazzi's absence, or being online, I should say. I move that the Common Council adjourn into a closed meeting at the conclusion of the Mayor and Common Council meeting of Monday, July 11th, 2022, in accordance with the general provisions article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, Section 3305B1, to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction. Any other personnel matter that affects one or more specified individuals. That is a mouthful. That is my motion.
Thank you, Mr. Hoff. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Hoff and a second by Ms. Gilbert to go into a closed meeting at the conclusion of tonight's regular agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. You guys seem to have any ayes have it, and we will do so at the end of the regular meeting. Now it's time for departmental reports. Ms. Imhoff.
Thank you, sir. As Mayor Becker mentioned, the Rudolph Girls and other businesses downtown have established Westminster Local Week, which is this week, July 9th through July 15th. Here's how you can participate. So you need to shop or dine in a downtown Westminster business. These are the businesses that are participating. American Ice Company, Birdie's Cafe, Carroll County Food Sunday, Change Space, The Chick, City Park Gaming and Brew Room, Country View Tuxedo, Covalent Spirits, which isn't open yet, but they are participating, Cultivated, Downtown Westminster Farmers Market, Downtown Yoga, Flip Your Fitness and Wellness, Flourish Beauty Studio, Julia Nova Italian Deli, Jeannie Bird Baking Company, Jenny the Health Coach, Life is Pizza, Lost Lion, Raphael's Steak and Oyster, Rudolph Girls Books, Run More, Westminster Pride Festival, and the Westminster Used Furniture. So shop or dine at one of those entities, take a picture of yourself with your meal or your purchase, post it on social media with the hashtag Westminster MD Local, as the mayor indicated, and you will be registered for a prize. And there are a lot of prizes right now, and not a lot of people who have submitted. So if you're already going to all those places, everyone in 45 West, that runs across the street every day to Jeannie Bird's Cafe. Oh, is that just me? Snap a photo, put it on social media with the hashtag, and will automatically be in a drawing to win a prize, a great prize. So do it. As the council president indicated, the council adopted, authorized the city to enter into a contract for cybersecurity at a very high rate. I really appreciate the council's consideration for that. We were up against a time clock that no one wanted, and we needed to protect our assets and our infrastructure. But we heard you and went back and double checked everything to make sure that it was right. And in the double checking, there were a lot of staff working on it. We realized that there was another option that was available to us through existing insurance options. So we were able to get the same coverage, not the same coverage, but enough coverage to do what we need to do with no additional cost to the city beyond what we were already paying for some of our insurance. So really appreciate your feedback. This is it is an opportunity for us to hear feedback from you and to try to make sure we've checked all the boxes. Often staff is able to bring these things in advance, but sometimes we miss it. And so we really appreciate the collaboration that we have with council. And in this case, it ended up saving us quite a bit of money.
Ms. Imholz, I just have to interject, like, that is phenomenal that you all took the initiative afterwards too. I wasn't at that meeting, but I had heard about it. I mean, just phenomenal that you guys took the initiative to further research it. So I commend you and staff on that. That is just awesome.
It was a group staff effort that was initiated by our city clerk. So really all the credit goes to our city clerk. And sometimes it's hard to, right? Sometimes it's hard to quantify the value of a clerk, right? Because all we see is paper and emails or whatnot.
Does chase us down from time to time.
All clerks, really. I mean, you remember when we didn't have a clerk, and I was like, hold on, I have 3 days worth of work to do here in the next hour. So thank you, Mr. Barber, for everything that you always bring to the table. And just a reminder, the city clerk position is so important to the city in general. I echo, for any commissioners who are listening, I echo what Councilmember Hoff said. We want to thank them for their contribution to our water reuse project. Our water customers include not just the city, but also the county. And so we really appreciate any effort we have to collaborate with the county. And this is certainly one example of that. I'm going to start quickly with the finance update from the finance department. We are just closing out. Now we're in a new fiscal year. So we're in the fiscal year 23 budget. We're closing out the end of the fiscal year prior and getting ready for the audit to come forward. And we are excited to hopefully we'll get rid of some of those findings that were in the audit in the past. So fingers crossed. All right, we're going to move on now to Councilmember Dayhoff. Do you have a fire report?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. And then we'll move over to housing. Mr. Brown?
Sure. Thank you. Just wanted to update the council on our progress with respect to the rental housing license. As of today, we have issued 381 rental licenses. The deadline for everybody to renew without penalty is the 31st of this month. And just for comparative purposes, last year we issued about 474 rental licenses. So we're making good progress this time. We're excited about the progress and people responding. So that's all I have.
Just to reiterate, for those landlords that are listening, we will start assessing fines in August. So get your application in this month, the next couple of weeks. We have our Recreation and Parks Director with us. So we are going to move over to Recreation and Parks, where we're going to hear about some of the exciting events coming up in July.
Yes, good evening.
We, of course, are in the middle of celebrating Recreation and Parks Month. We're a third of the way through already, which is hard to believe. Tomorrow, we will celebrate by hosting an event in City Park called Slide the Park from noon to 2. We'll have 2 very exciting inflatable water slides, as well as some other aquatic activities that will take place in the park, and the 90-degree day looks like it will align nicely with what we have planned. On Wednesday the 13th, we'll be hosting a reptile show in City Park, one at 4:30 and a newly added show at 6:15 because the interest was so great. And we have also added some crafts and activities to go along with what the children will be learning during that showtime. As Councilman Jayhoff mentioned, Thursday the 14th in Locust Lane from noon to 1, we will be serving up free snowballs to the community. And Friday the 15th will be our Kids Ninja Warrior Challenge from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And we generally see about 1,000 children come through our Ninja Warrior obstacle course throughout the day. It's really fun to watch. So if anybody has time to meander by, please do so. Peek over City Park Wall because it is something to see. On Monday the 18th, you can take any class for free at our Westminster Family Fitness Center. We encourage our community to explore the fitness center that's right in their backyard, so you can come in and try us out. The 19th, instead of a sip and paint class, we're having a kids fruit punch and paint class. So we'll be creating some beautiful artwork in City Park at 1 o'clock on Tuesday the 19th. We'll have our Cooch Yappy Hour in City Park on the 20th. Residents and anyone in the surrounding areas are welcome to come out to City Park with their pets on leash to socialize, get to know their neighbors, have a drink, and play with your dogs. So the 21st will be geocaching at Wakefield Valley Park. We have some really exciting caches there. And we'll be working with Carroll County Geocaching Society to put that event on. So anyone who is a seasoned geocacher can enjoy it, and anyone who is a novice or interested in getting into geocaching, this is a great activity for them to attend. We also, sadly, will be serving snowballs at Wakefield Valley along with that event, and we will not be in Locust Lane on Thursday, the 21st. So if you want your snowball, come and geocache with us at Wakefield, or just get your snowball. The 22nd of July is Kids Night Out, where children can spend some time with our great staff, and parents can go enjoy 3 hours of their own time shopping or dining in any of our wonderful downtown establishments. We have our ice cream social on Monday the 25th from 1 to 3. Free ice cream in City Park with all the toppings you care to put on your ice cream. And the last notable events for the month is our Small Fry Triathlon on Friday, July 29th. This is when children ages 3 to 6 will tricycle or bicycle around the basketball court. They will swim through the sprinklers and run around City Park for their finish through the archway. So we are certainly excited to be offering all of these events to the community and invite anyone to come out to participate or to be a bystander to cheer on our participants for the stay engaged. That concludes my report, unless there are questions.
Thank you, Ms. Gerber. I want to take just a quick moment to thank the IT staff. While they are not here, they are remote and help remotely to make sure that our meetings are as successful as they can possibly be. So thank you to them. We're going to move over to the Human Resources Department. Ms. McCullough.
The Human Resources Department continues to assist all departments with recruiting for the various positions that we have vacant. If you are interested in applying for the positions, please go to the city's website. The City of Westminster is a great place to work. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. McCullough. We will move over to the Planning Department. Mr. Depot.
Thank you. On July the 5th, the Board of Zoning Appeals approved case 22-6. It's a special exception to allow a daycare facility located within the existing building at 1234 Tech Court. Case 22-7, a variance to allow residential deck to extend 10 feet in the 20-foot setback at 890 Sumner Court. and approve the variance for case 22-8 to allow an addition to the existing house to extend 2 feet and 8-foot setback at 72 West Green Street. On July 8th, the Historic District Commission held a special meeting to discuss historic district best practices, including examples of historic district regulations from other jurisdictions. This Friday, July 15th, the beneficial bug release is scheduled to occur at 1 p.m. in Mather's Garden behind City Hall. The Westminster Boys and Girls Club will be attending to help with the release, and a Carroll County Times reporter will also be there to cover the event. The beneficial bug release is a continued effort by the Westminster Tree Commission to enhance the sustainability of the city's natural urban environment. And that completes my report.
I can tell you I will not be at the bug release nor the reptile.
I'm now thinking about private.
Mr. Depot, we're going to move over to the police department and have Major Gibson with us today.
Good evening, everybody. Significantly, the 3 things I want to talk about. Number 1 is National Night Out. Just a reminder, is August 2nd. We actually have 7 communities that have committed to that. The most recent community that has committed is Bishop Garth, which is absolutely wonderful. We reach out to them so they're going to participate as well. The 4th annual Pride Parade, as we mentioned before, was held on July 9th. It was absolutely exceptional. We collaborated with Carroll County Sheriff's Office along with the Streets Department and Department of Public Works. We obviously arranged, and like Council President mentioned, it stopped raining for a while, but we all weathered it, and it was a wonderful event. Lastly, a community health fair was we partnered up with the health department and community health fair at St. Paul Church. And it's a holistic approach to crime prevention, and we reach out to numerous residents of Westminster that were there to provide them with services that's available within the city of Westminster and the health department.
We're going to round things off with the Public Works Department. But before we get there, I just want to say, Jeff, I'm so thankful that you stuck around for as long as you did, despite your best efforts to leave earlier. Jeff and I have worked really hard over the last 9 months to get the city in a place we're ready for the next couple of years to get a whole bunch of projects out the door. And I think it's going to be extremely exciting. Thank you for your leadership and your friendship. I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have the floor.
I feel similarly. So it's always tough to follow Abby. She's got snowballs and ice cream. Public Works really doesn't have anything like that. But we do have some good news. That's good news and bad news. I think the bad news is I lost the bet with Sarah. But we do have some good news about our fill water project that because I lost the bet, I'm going to give the floor to Sarah as soon as I'm done here so she can explain where we are with this. But the last thing for me to say, I believe, is that just to thank everyone again for the kind words and just for letting me hang around for 41 years.
That's it. That's all you have.
That's all I have. So you can talk about the losing time.
Yeah, I can do that. Before we get to that, I want to say, Councilmember Cavacci mentioned 27 and Main Street will be closed down as they fix the railroad tracks. I just want to let you know that we mentioned that today at the Downtown Business Association meeting. We've also been discussing the Main Street water project with them, so they're aware, and there have been no real questions so far. The exciting news that Mr. Glass is mentioning is that we have, yes, you don't know, Mayor, sorry, this is the last minute addition. Surprises. Thank you, sir. We've been given the green light from the state, from MDE, on the path that they would like us to take to move forward with the water reuse project. And thankfully, the path that they've selected is probably the easiest path. It's the path that we've suggested that we move forward with. And so we're ready to go. That project is now fully funded and ready to just go. And I think that's a wonderful gift to give to Mr. Glass on his last week. That concludes the departmental reports.
You can retire.
Sure you will stick around and build it?
It's already been talked about.
we move on to citizen comments, we frequently have a representative from McDaniel College here with us. I don't know if anybody's here this evening. Not that side. So then the final item on our agenda is citizen comments, when we invite the public to address the mayor and council on any issues that pertain to tonight's agenda or any other city issues. For citizens not attending the public meeting, we invite you to send us your comments or concerns via email at comments@westminstermd.gov. All comments received by email will be shared with the mayor and council. Commenters should include their address and phone number with their emailed comments. We'll now invite comments from anyone who is present here this evening. I remind everyone, this is an opportunity for the public to share their thoughts and concerns and not exchange in a debate or for us to answer questions because we may not have the answers or the right things to say to figure it out for you. I also encourage everyone to keep their remarks as brief and succinct as possible. With that, is there anyone with us tonight who wishes to be heard? If so, please give us your name and address for the record. Everyone? Okay. Then with that case, we'll close citizen comments. And that concludes our agenda and the meeting. We are going to cancel our meeting on July 25th. Give everybody a little break in the middle of the summer. Our next regular meeting will be held on Monday, August 8th.
Wow. Okay.
And with that, without objection, we are adjourned.
Good night. I canceled. I cleared the items off my calendar. This is great. 2 evenings. No planning commission, no council meeting.
Yeah, I'd be sure to get that picture.
Well, great because when you're out of town, so we're like, so what?
We can pass all sorts of things.
Yeah, we're gonna play that.
I know.
You're good.
I'm right behind you.
Who was the woman that was here?
Yeah,
It's great. It's, so it's 800%.
some firms. I just wanted to come listen.
Are you done? Hey.
I asked her if she could send it. She's like,
Are you
"Oh,
Yes, you.
wait before the meeting starts."
Yeah, you'd like.
I mean, it's forward, but it'll be even better than I know. It's hard to sit. Yes. Oh, you should see him.
I'll be able to finally see you then.
It's gonna help. We're getting ours right now.
It's always like to say hi.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
We're sticking around.
Yeah. Yeah. Still got a week, Jeff.
Sarah said she didn't need me.
For tonight, we're good.
Yeah.
I never heard the part about like, right after you game, he was like, I don't know, see you later. You didn't even started all my birthday.
I'm leaving the family so many times.
I remember during the campaign. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was afraid I was gonna